So, I have finished my Metro 2033 playthrough, and people are wondering what my opinion is on the game. And the short version is superb. I really did enjoy playing this game, more than I thought actually. I mean, from a technical point of view, the graphics are absolutely amazing. Very realistic actually, very realistic, very immersive. The sound is the same, the music really does fit the game, and so the whole experience sort of drags you in. The story was great, a little bit linear perhaps, but that doesn't really detract from it at all. I mean, just all round a good game. In fact, my only real criticism of the game from a technical point of view is that if you jump straight in at Ranger Hardcore mode, some of the game mechanics are not immediately obvious because you disable all tutorials, and some of the key game mechanics, some of the key game issues are not apparent. So for example, military grade ammunition is your currency, it's your money. This was not actually hugely obvious to me. In fact, I completely missed it, and that's the sort of thing that games should get over to you, even on the very hardest difficulty. And people are going to argue, well, you're not supposed to play the hardest difficulty straight away, you're supposed to do one. Rubbish. If there's a hard difficulty there, I'm going to play it, the hardest one, and so are a lot of other people. That's a poor excuse for a design flaw, and I'm sorry about that, but it is. At the very least, they should have made it in Ranger Hardcore. They disabled all of the tutorials except the ones that were utterly required to continue. But, you know, it's a minor criticism. It is a minor criticism because, you know, I do appreciate they added that mode after the fact. It was a later addition, but I think it's something they should have thought of when creating that mode. They should have had the game somehow introduce certain concepts a little easier or a little bit more obviously, or indeed just allow you to have Ranger Hardcore with certain tweaks. Allow the basic game mechanic tutorials to still occur whilst disabling the heads-up display and having all the other features. It's a minor niggle, but it's an important one, and it's the sort of thing that when designing a game, people should think about. The idea that people will buy a game like this and not play on the hardest mode is a bad idea. A lot of people are going to do that. A lot of people want the full hardcore experience, and I'm one of them. So, minor niggle, and I'm sure other people are going to say, well, you weren't supposed to. Rubbish. There's no such thing as you're not supposed to. Yes, they warned me I would die. That does not allow you to have bad design issues like that. So, having said that, that literally is my only criticism of the game. Literally my only criticism. And I know that one alone is going to offend some of the hardcore fans, but that was it. Apart from that, the game is just, it was amazing. It really was an amazing experience. It was so easy to lose yourself in the game. It felt so real, and especially on Ranger Hardcore mode. As I said, it may have missed certain key information, but in general, it made me work. It made me work hard. It made me feel like I was surviving. And it made it feel like brutal reality, and I loved it. It was really fun. It's the sort of game when you play it at that difficulty, if you make a mistake, you better have a backup plan. So, I mean, if you're stealthing along and you get caught, you better be ready to sprint in an instant to a whole new location. You better be ready to evade your enemies because, I mean, if you get discovered and there's 2 or 3 opponents, you are not going to just start shooting at them wildly. You're probably going to die. If you've got one opponent, you might be able to take him out in a firefight, but if you're pinned down and there are 4 or 5 enemy all in cover, forget it. It would be absolutely stupid to try and take them on in direct combat. You'll be trying to aim at one guy and 4 of his friends will be shooting at you, and you're going to die. Forget it. You've got to relocate, rethink, come up with a new plan. If you can't adapt and adapt fast, Ranger Hardcore mode is going to brutalize you constantly, and I loved it. It's the sort of game and difficulty level that really does appeal to me because it makes me feel like I'm earning every step. And in fact, I really would recommend anyone buying this game play it on Ranger Hardcore first playthrough. Just take a few pieces of advice, like for example that the money is the military grade bullets, and do it without watching any Let's Plays. If for some reason you've gotten to this point in this video and you've never actually watched my Let's Play and you're just listening to me describe it, stop now, because there are going to be some spoilers coming up in this discussion. You don't want to know anything. Just know this: military grade ammunition, it's the shiny one, it's your money, don't spend it, oh sorry, don't shoot it. Always buy filters, buy as many filters as you can, and keep your ammo stocked as high as possible. Save a little money for armor later on, but ammunition, just keep buying ammunition. Buy. Forget buying new weapons, you'll find enough new weapons as you go along. Buy ammunition. Apart from that, don't know anything about the game and jump right in. Stop watching now if you're going to play this game. Ranger Hardcore, definitely the way I recommend, because you feel like it's real. And that to me is the best thing about this game. Now I did warn you, there are spoilers are coming, so leave now because the spoilers are coming if you don't want them. I want to talk about the story and the ending and all of that. Now, if you watch my Let's Play, obviously you know that I took the, Peacemaker option, not sure what you call it, and I decided to spare the Dark Ones. Now to me, the story had been pretty much bullying you into that ending as it was anyway. I mean, pretty much from the moment go, you kept having these dreams which you sort of soon realised was the Dark Ones communicating with you, and every time it happened, the Dark Ones were perfectly friendly. If you ran to the Dark Ones, nothing bad happened. When the very first time you saw them, the Dark One he seemed perfectly friendly and not hostile at all. In fact, in that one, you see Hunter appear and start shooting the Dark One. So in a way, very early on, you are subjected to the concept that we are the hostile race, that humanity is the hostile race, and is represented in your subconscious or in the minds of the Dark Ones by the figure of Hunter. And, you know, whenever you hear Hunter's voice in those dream states, it's always to suggest that you kill them. It's always, you know, if it's hostile, kill it. And at the same time, you'll also hear Khan's voice occasionally in those, and he will be telling you things like, you know, oh, don't continue the circle of violence, judge for yourself. You know what I mean? He is obviously the voice of the peacemaker in these things. Now, I don't actually think it is Khan or Hunter talking, although I wondered if Khan was either a Dark One or somehow was channeling them, but I think that the Dark Ones were talking to me directly, and it just comes across as voices that I know. So whenever they were talking about a peaceful message, it was Khan's voice, and whenever they were trying to suggest hostility, it was the Hunter's voice. And at least that's what the feeling I was getting. And it really sort of makes it fairly obvious that they are trying to be peaceful to me. They never seemed hostile at all. In fact, really, the first sign of hostility was at the end. And they start trying to kill me as I get to the top of the tower with the detonator, the targeting computer that's going to nuke them. And this is the first time they've shown any hostility towards me. And even there, you keep getting these flashes of the different sides of the kill them side and the spare them side, the Khan versus Hunter. And in the end, the realization sort of hits you that even Hunter is the Dark Ones. It is when he says, if it's hostile, kill it. He is not saying the Dark Ones are hostile, kill them. This is the Dark Ones explaining, you know, what is going on. They see us as hostile. We're trying to wipe them out. We're trying to kill them. We are hostile, and so they have no choice but to kill us. It's the ultimate irony here that you can use that argument to justify killing the Dark Ones, but the Dark Ones are trying to tell you that's why they're trying to kill you. They're trying to kill you because you are hostile. Humanity is the hostile ones. Humanity started this war, that type of thing. And so at the end, to me, it seemed really obvious that they wanted peace, and that to stop the beacon was the right choice. So obviously that's the one I took. Now apparently that is not canon. Apparently the character Artyom does kill them. He does wipe them out. But all the way through the game, Artyom is making the right sounds as if he is a peaceful person. He does question Miller's obsession with the weapons. He does worry about it. He does think it isn't helping, that it's how it all started. I mean, if you remember on the elevator up, Miller was absolutely drooling at the sight of all that weaponry, and then Artyom does a little speech where he's doubting that. He's not sure about whether this is the right course of action. But apparently the canon is that Artyom does in fact allow the death of the Dark Ones, and in the next game I'm hoping that if Artyom did do this, he is at least feeling some either remorse or doubt as to whether it was the right thing. Because I think the first game definitely got that concept over, and even the main character seemed to be acknowledging that. Brilliantly executed game, just major thumbs up, and of course I will be playing the next one, Metro Last Light. I'm not sure when. I'm hoping to start soon, but I'm not going to promise anything just in case. But I will be playing it and I will be recording it, so you should be seeing that one on my channel in the future. Those of you who watched the Let's Play, I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope my failure, especially in the early episodes, was not too annoying. Even the double barrel shotgun, which is still a strange mechanic to me. Right mouse button is for aim. I'm sorry, right mouse button is for aim, and if it's not for aim, it shouldn't be used for anything else. It's just a bit weird, that is. Anyway, I believe that's all I have to say, other than definitely one of my favourite games now.